Nothing feeds the body and the soul quite like growing your own food.
Young strawberries are beginning to appear.
So whether your plot is large, small,
The apple tree is now in full blossom and there are bees everywhere.
or you don't have one at all,
Doesn't even need a garden.
each week Mrs. Titchmarsh and I
OK, Alison, follow me.
and the Love Your Garden team will show you how easy it is to fill your garden with delicious treats.
Just smells amazing.
There couldn't be a better time to enjoy fabulous flavours
You like it?
Nice.
from your own fruit and veg patch.
So join me and the team as we reveal the secrets to growing your own.
As temperatures rise, this week we're cramming our plots with delicious delights. From the nation's favourite salad
The only problem is bringing yourself to cut things out of it and ruin the picture.
to fruit and herbs hanging on your wall,
Oh, it looks jazzy.
ripping up the lawn to create a mini allotment,
I may have my work cut out for me.
and adding flowers that look good and keep the pests away.
Isn't it beautiful? I love them.
The sun is shining, flowers are blooming. It can only mean one thing: summer is here.
It's an exciting time on the veg patch too. Everything is beginning to grow. Shall we show them, Alison? Yeah, Mrs. T is still on camera. Sterling work. The runner beans are getting close to those poles before they start twining. And over on the other patch there, lots of growth from broad beans, peas, carrots. It really is that burgeoning time of year.
It's also a great time for planting salad vegetables. There's no room for them in my veg patches, so I'm building a new 1 metre square raised bed for mine.
What I want to show you today is how to grow salad crops in a tiny area so that they look pretty.
Easy to grow and requiring little maintenance, lettuce, Britain's most popular salad, is a great crop for the first-time veg grower. It can be grown from seed or young plants until August and harvested until November.
What you could do here is simply make little drills and sow your lettuce seeds in a pretty pattern. I can do that, but you won't have much to look at. So I've managed to find some small plants which I can put in, which will give you an idea of how pretty this can be. And they'll still have plenty of weeks of growing and plenty of weeks of harvesting.
You can buy young lettuce plants in trays, and I'm using red Lollo Rosso and contrasting green Butterhead.
Now, I'm planting these lettuces quite close together. You can easily space them twice this much apart if you want bigger lettuces to mature over a longer period. It's important when you're planting lettuce not to put them in too deeply. Exactly at the point at which the lettuce plant meets the earth should be level with the new earth, otherwise they tend to rot off at the bottom.
As these plants grow, they'll fill the gaps, creating a striking and delicious tasting feature. When they reach 4 inches high, you can start picking the leaves and they'll grow back within days.
Look at that though, when the sun comes out and shines on it, it positively glows. And it really is the simplest thing to do.
While I've been cramming in the salad, Katie has been wrestling with a different space-saving problem. How to grow your own when you only have a wall.
Fancy living walls and big vertical gardens used to be seen as a bit out there, and they were also tricky to install and really expensive. But you know what? Things have moved on a bit.
Kate is creating a vertical fruit and veg patch using a living wall system you can buy online.
You can buy this starter kit from about 40 quid, and that gives you 12 planting pockets, which you could use under a window or any tight space, really.
The pockets are split into rows of 3 and are held in place by battens.
It is pretty straightforward. The bottom one you fasten to the batten, and then the next one up just simply stacks on top. Right.
Katie's bought 4 kits to create a feature on each side of the door.
There we go. They're up. Now for plants.
A living wall can make a dramatic feature, but the pockets you plant in are often small, so Katie's chosen plants that are happy in nooks and crannies.
Now, I've got a mixture of all sorts gone in here. Flowers as well as edibles, because I do want it to look really pretty. I've got this oregano in the front, it's called green carpet. It's a lovely lime colour, which I really like. And then Bidens, which will give me these pretty daisy-like flowers for most of the summer. And then this is chocolate peppermint, and it smells amazing. I think my daughter's going to particularly like using that in baking and things. And then I've got some strawberries. Now, these have got lots of strawberries coming on them and lots of flowers yet to come. And the nice thing is as well, they will tumble beautifully, leaving strawberries at a height where the slugs can't get them, which is an added bonus.
All living walls need regular watering. Once a day is fine.
Now, in order to keep this looking good, a bit of care, little and often, will be best. Any flowers that need deadheading, do so. And any plants that are getting too big and smothering others, cut them back.
Oh, he looks jazzy.
For smaller spaces and budgets, you can buy a thinner fabric container for a fraction of the price.
For about £3.50 you can get one of these, and it's just a matter of filling it with compost, pushing the plants through the pockets, and with strawberries and tumbling tomatoes in, it should look really good. Once it's had regular water and feed, the plants will cover this entire bag, you won't even see it. I am so happy with my little green walls. They've got so many edibles in them, they look really colourful and cheery. I absolutely love them.
Wherever you choose to grow them, all fruit and veg plants need one thing to thrive.
That is good soil. And good soil needs organic matter in it to provide nutrients and to hold on to moisture. Those nutrients come from here, the compost heap.
You can buy soil enrichment in bags, of course, but with many of us out mowing and pruning, now is a great time to save some pennies and create your own garden compost.
Now, a big garden needs a big compost heap, but even a small garden can fit in one like this. Make it a good metre square. Any smaller and it tends to dry out. And also a good framework. This is a shop-bought one, but it stops the compost heap from slithering and sliding all the way across your garden. What do you put in? Your vegetable waste, annual weeds, soft prunings from flowers, and lawn mowings. No thick-rooted weeds, because they might survive. No food products from the house. No bread, no cooked vegetables. Potato peelings are OK. And crushed eggshells are fine. They won't rot down, but they'll give it a bit of body. Put a hose pipe on it in really dry weather. But the rest of the time, a piece of old carpet like this, just chuck it over the top. And that will stop the sun's rays from scorching it.
It takes a few months for your compost to be ready, but once you get started, you'll be on a roll. One compost heap I'll never forget was in Finn and Nicky's unbelievable garden in Wiltshire.
Gosh, this is impressive.
It's fed entirely by homegrown compost.
One of our great passions is recycling everything, so composting is our big love, really. I liken our relationship to a compost heap.
We get quite hot.
What I was about to discover would blow my mind.
Finn, there is a disturbing light in your eye. This is clearly a passion.
It's a twinkle in my eye.
When the material in a compost heap breaks down, it releases heat. So the warmer your heap, the more efficient it is.
This feels very warm.
It is. The bacteria in there heat it up to, well, if it's got grass clippings in, it hits 70 degrees.
So how hot is this going to be now down in there?
Let's have a look.
Oh, this is exciting, isn't it? Like having your temperature taken. So it's... Oh, it's shooting up. 60, you're knocking on 65.
Pretty soon, we're going to get down so hot that you burn your hands there.
Whoosh!
Finn's heap gets so hot, he's found another use for it.
A while ago, I was thinking, what a shame there's all this heat in here. I wish we could use it.
Oh, wow. So we got a casserole dish in here?
Yes.
This is very exciting. No pop, that's all right. Oh, look at this. Look in there. Oh, the smell, it's glorious. It has cooked. It really has. It smells divine. Fancy being able to cook brisket in your compost heap.
Oh, I like that.
Absolutely perfect.
An easy way to grow your own in a small space is in a traditional planter on legs, the veg trug. And as I like to keep my team on their toes, I've sent each of them the exact same trug and given them free rein to create their own personalised version of this classic planter. And it's getting a bit competitive.
I'm feeling pretty good about my trug so far.
Hope you like it, Alan.
And of course, I couldn't resist having a go myself.
Time to catch up with the team. Hello!
Hello!
Hi.
I set you a challenge. How have you got on? Mine is not being judged. Can't be winner.
Well, you say that.
I decided to go for a muted dove grey. It's just over there, and it's planted up entirely with herbs, so that Mrs. T can toddle across a very short distance to get her herbs. David, the family man, what's yours like?
Well, we've had some time. I've got some time with the girls, so we have created a garden landscape. So there's quite a lot of fairies and ladybirds, and we worked the theme in of the NHS rainbow and a cheeky dog just hiding underneath the sunflowers.
Well, it's not the kind of image I'd associated with you, but I think that's really rather lovely. Francis, now what have you done with yours?
The biggest challenge I had was getting it in the garden. I'm afraid I had to carve the trunk because it wouldn't sit and in its full glory. I don't know if you can see it behind me. I like a cup of tea, and it's right by the kitchen window, so I thought I'm going to fill it with things I can make my own tea with. So I've got bergamot, I've got lemon verbena, mint, chamomile, and I painted it, of course, like a teacup.
It looks fab.
Katie, what have you done?
So my theme is dark and stormy.
Oh, a bit like yourself. Oh, yes.
Got Szechuan pepper, red gooseberries, red kale, radicchio, lots of different red lettuces, chilies.
It's stormy.
Kind of moody and sultry.
They say trugs reflect their owners, you know. Oh, which one will be the winner? Well, it's a shoo-in, really, isn't it? It's got to be the girls and their NHS. So I have to say, Francis, I'll come and have a cup of tea with you any day. So, David, you and your girls win. Lovely to see you. Well done all. Take care. Bye.
Yes!
Well, I couldn't not give it to them, could I? Not content with a prize-winning trug, David's creating the next part of his classic veg patch. To grow enough crops to feed his family all year, he's now planning for a late-season harvest.
Trying to think ahead a bit now into the autumn-winter time. I'm going to be putting in the big stuff.
Autumn and winter crops need lots of room to grow, and predators, like rabbits, love them. So around his new bed, David's adding a wire mesh fence.
I may have my work cut out for me here. First of my big veg is sweet corn. You should really try sweet corn. It's a marvellous crop.
It's too late to grow from seed, but by planting sweet corn plants in June, you'll be enjoying corn on the cob in September.
Now, I'm planting them 30 centimetres apart from each other. It's really because they're quite a big crop. It grows up to about 1.5 metres, sweet corn. It's a big one.
Another big crop you can plant in June for harvesting in October is this Halloween favourite.
I've grown pumpkins for the girls every year, and they're a great crop. They grow quite easily, and you know when they're ripe because they turn from green to this beautiful autumnal orange, just right for Halloween. Now the secret when planting a pumpkin, because they're very thirsty, is to plant the pot as well. In you go, right next to the pumpkin. So when you water, you can fill the pot up and it'll slowly seep in and make sure the pumpkin's properly hydrated. The next batch of plants that I'm putting in are the really hungry ones. They're the brassicas, and I love them.
Brassicas, like cabbages and cauliflowers, can be planted now for harvesting in late summer. But David's adding a winter favourite for harvesting at Christmas.
Now, Brussels sprouts, these become big plants. They'll grow up to about 1 metre. Some of them may need staking because they get quite heavy as well. So I'm giving them 50 centimetre spacing, so there's plenty of room. Christmas Day, when I'm getting ready for the family Christmas dinner, I get the girls, we get our coats on, we run down here and we pick the Brussels fresh and take them back to the kitchen for our Christmas dinner.
The final touch is another layer of protection from aerial attacks.
I've got the fattest pigeons in Warwickshire. These nets are relatively inexpensive. You can get them at garden centres. A couple of bamboo canes, you know, zip tie them at the top, pot over there to hold them into place, bricks to hold the bottom. It's a great homemade bird protection unit. Well, there you have it. It's our big veg.
If you're planting new crops or just want your established plants to thrive, now is the time to stay on top of your veg patch.
When your crops are growing, it's all about keeping them growing without check. Maintenance, watering them before they get too dry, hoeing between the rows like this, cutting off those annual weeds by their stocking tops, which means that the sun will bake them dry and they won't grow again.
But there's another way to help your crops get the best start in life. Frances has reached the halfway stage of her transformation of a narrow backyard into a pretty fruit and veg garden.
Now I want to introduce some colour as well. And luckily there's a way of bringing in colour and helping your fruit and veg to grow.
By adding flowers to her border, Frances is hoping to attract insects that'll keep her plants growing well and healthily.
Now the key to choosing the right flowers are things that insects can actually access. And for that you need something called single flowers. Now a single flower is one layer of petals with an open centre that gives access to the insects to all the nectar and all the pollen that's in that flower. This little plant here is called a calendula. It will also attract pollinators, but it does so much more besides. Calendula will stop any whitefly from coming in. They put them off. Now whitefly, if they do get onto tomatoes, can really decimate the crop.
She's also adding another brightly coloured flower that's a great companion to veg, the French marigold.
Isn't it beautiful? It comes in such a lovely range of burnt reds through to bright yellows and everything in between. And they've fallen a little bit out of favour, but I think it's time they were brought back into fashion because I love them. They're a fantastic companion plant for brassicas, for sweet corns and for beans. Don't plant them too close, but if you plant them near, then it will keep away all kinds of nasty pests.
Another way to add colour and flavour to your garden is with flowers you can eat.
Like this little chap. This is a viola. Beautiful, but also delicious in desserts, salads and in drinks.
In a kitchen garden, edible flowers give you 2 hits for the price of 1. Pansies make pretty and tasty cake decorations. And orange nasturtium petals add a pop of colour to a bed and peppery flavour to a salad.
I'm so happy with how this half of the garden is looking. Not only is it really, really pretty, but nearly everything here is edible.
The joy of growing your own is that there are always new things to try and fabulous new tastes to enjoy. Even if you've only planted a tiny patch, I guarantee if you keep it up, in the next few months, you're in for a treat.
With any luck, it's inspired you to have a go yourself. Till next time, bye-bye.
Whether you have a windowsill, a tiny patio, or a big garden, if you love food, now is the perfect time to grow your own.
It's getting to your plate within moments, and that is what all this is about.
So join Mrs. T and me.
My wife doesn't think it's clear, so I should be doing that again.
And the Love Your Garden team in our gardens.
Nearly everything here is edible.
As we reveal the secrets
Oh, he looks jazzy.
Of growing your own.
this week,
Who likes barbecues?
we're going big on flavour and goodness. Planting crunchy, mouth-watering veg that's perfect for the grill.
Absolutely delicious.
Filling our gardens with fiery flavours.
This is why you should grow your own chilies. They look so beautiful.
And beautifying our beds with delicious, nutritious treats.
They are absolutely packed full of antioxidants.
It's the height of the growing season. And my garden is exploding with colour.
These ornamental alliums are glistening as though they're cut from metallic foil. And over in the veg patch, things are growing like wildfire. But I've been watering to keep them growing. Just look, lettuces, red cabbages protected from the pigeons, and runner beans which are already starting to go right up the pole.
Most exciting of all is that some crops are ready to be picked.
I sowed these just 5 weeks ago, and look, already lovely big fat radishes. And when they're this big, they're ready for pulling. Take this in the house, rinse it. Here's one I've rinsed. And then hot, crunchy, white flesh, beautiful.
And now my lettuce leaves are ready to pick too.
They're coming beautifully now, and it's a case of coming out and picking the odd leaf off. And this is where growing your own really comes to the fore. That was a mistake, wasn't it? Pick all the way over and you'll realise instantly the joy of having fresh picked produce rather than something from a shop.
And there's still room for some new crops.
For some time I've been wanting to get more fruit into my kitchen garden, so I've got a rather neat solution. And that is by using these little beauties. These are called Stepover trees. I've got 2 pears and 2 apples. And what they are normal pears. This is a variety called Doyen du Comis, which is succulent, the best pear. What Stepover trees are fruit trees grafted onto a dwarfing rootstock. Now this is the rootstock, and this makes sure it doesn't grow into a socking great pear tree. The beauty of these is they take up very little space, and they do give you a reasonable crop.
Not of my bum. I haven't room for a large tree in my bed, so by adding a row of 4 stepovers, I'll have my own micro orchard.
What I am doing is making a sort of dish around the base so that I can keep this well watered. If it just has flat soil, it'll all run off.
I'm planting the trees about 1 metre apart, and I'll prune the side shoots back to encourage them to keep forming fruits in future years.
Giving a really good soaking in. So I now have a lovely little fruitful boundary to my veg patch, and I'll be eating apples by the autumn. Look at these. I'll wait a bit longer for the pears, but they're definitely Stepover, even for those with a relatively modest inside leg. There you are. Grow well, little trees.
In a rather windy Yorkshire, Katie's discovering another of the pleasures of growing your own.
I have been on a mission to try and sneak in as many delicious edibles that I cook with into the garden as well as inside the house.
Her next project is her most ambitious yet. A new container garden full of super healthy foods that are super pretty too.
The first plant I'm going to pop in is a blueberry. Now these are huge family favourites in our house, and they're really a fabulous plant. As long as you plant them in ericaceous compost, which is acidic, they'll be very happy.
Blueberries are rich in vitamins and minerals that are believed to lower blood pressure and cholesterol. To enjoy fruits this summer, buy a self-fertile variety that's already in flower. It'll need a sunny spot to maximise fruit production.
The nice thing about them is, as a plant, they're really attractive. They've got these pretty flowers on, and then they are absolutely packed full of antioxidants, so really good for you. From deep purple blueberries, I'm going super green with parsley. Now, parsley is a brilliant herb to have fresh in your garden. Parsley is packed full of flavour and goodness, and is actually full of vitamin K, which is really important for healthy bones.
Next, Katie's planting two of the kings of healthy veg, and each of them only needs a half-metre square container.
Now, I've made these basic wooden planters. They're really straightforward. It's a treated timber. You can make them out of old pallets if you had old pallets hanging around. I'm going to clad them in slate. I've got these from the roof when we had the roof done. I've made the planter so it's the same size as two slates on top of each other, and that way I don't have to cut them. I can just glue them straight onto the sides. Thank you, my glamorous assistant. As with blueberries, things that are dark in colour are usually a really good health indicator. And so is the same with this, which is purple sprouting broccoli, and it's one of my favourite vegetables. I absolutely love it.
Rich in vitamin C, which is good for the immune system, purple sprouting broccoli can be harvested through the summer and on into the autumn.
And when everything else has died down in the garden, this will come into its own and be a big beacon of gorgeousness in the borders of a winter. But what it doesn't like, funnily enough, is strong winds. You and me both, broccoli.
Katie's final option really delivers on value for money when it comes to both goodness and good looks.
Kale has a bit of a goody-goody reputation, doesn't it, of like health freaks, but I love the stuff.
Not only is kale packed with energy-boosting vitamin B, it needs little space to grow, and the leaves make a stunning display.
The wonderful thing about it is you can harvest it for 10 months of the year. There are not many other crops you can say that about. It's absolutely bonza. So there you go, my 4 superfoods. All super healthy, super good looking and super tasty.
One of the pleasures of growing your own in midsummer is that crops you've been growing from seed indoors can finally be planted out.
The tomatoes I planted in the greenhouse just a few weeks ago when they were only that big. Baby, look at them now. These youngsters here, because we're well into June, we can plant them outside.
Tomato plants need a sunny spot and will continue to grow, so I've assigned each of them a stake and left 50 centimetres between plants.
By sinking a flower pot in alongside the tomato plant, I can water into the pot and it will go straight down to the roots where it's needed rather than just running off the top. There we are. You can even grow outdoor tomatoes like this on a doorstep if it's sunny, or a patio in a growing bag or a large pot. And by the end of the summer you will be getting a crop if the sun keeps shining. The joy of anticipation and the slight postponement of gratification.
When temperatures soar, we Brits love to cook outside. The nation's barbecue market is now worth £1.8 billion, and growing your own veg guarantees you'll always have the freshest flavours for your grill.
You better not be eating them strawberries!
David's traditional veg patch for feeding his young family has been expanding by the week, and it's starting to bear fruit.
What you got there, Alice?
A massive leaf.
Look at that! Do you want to eat any of that? Yeah. Should we go? Yeah. Come on then. Party? Who likes barbecues? We've got so much growing here, but now I want to grow something specific for our family barbecues.
Creating a barbecue-friendly veg patch is simple to do and doesn't require much space.
I'm actually going to put it straight on top of the lawn.
David's 2 new raised beds are made from recycled plastic and don't need tools to assemble.
I'm going to use the old cardboard box as a liner at the base, so it will stop the grass from growing, and eventually the grass will die off, turn into compost, and so will the cardboard as well.
He's chosen veg that'll grow fast at the height of summer, don't need much space, and almost no preparation before they go on the grill.
We love having peppers on the barbecue. We grill them. They're really nice. Now, there are a couple of options. There's the bell peppers, but there's also the long, pointy ones. That's the ones we like. I put them on skewers onto the barbecue. Now, this one's called Marconi. It's a faster growing one.
Midsummer is a perfect time for growing pepper plants. When they start producing flowers, you can feed them once a week with dilute liquid tomato feed, and within weeks you'll have crunchy veg that's perfect for the barbie.
And that's it. 4 plants in this particular bed will grow about 1 metre tall, and they'll produce loads of those really sweet, flavoursome, long, pointed peppers.
In full sun, pepper plants will happily grow, but adding a poly cover
It's not a doll's house out of there.
keeps the heat in and encourages even faster growth.
There we go.
David's next choice, courgettes, are great value for money. 1 plant should generate enough crops to feed a small family. And the flowers are edible too.
Now the secret is never to let them grow too big. Harvest your courgettes when they're about 10 to 15 centimetres. So I'm planting just one, this big one, right in the middle of the bed, so it can have pride of place.
He's also found room for another barbecue favourite, Mange 2 peas.
If you pick them young, they're fantastic, that crunch.
Unlike the majority of peas that need to be shelled, you just pick the whole pod. They're a perfect instant pick and cook option. Like any pea plant, they need a bit of support as they grow.
It looks a bit enchanted with these lifeless twigs, but when they start to grow through it, it'll all become green again.
With some added protection from the local bird life,
that was a bit urgent.
This barbecue veg patch full of fast-growing, easy-to-cook crops is complete.
There's no reason why these 2 little areas here shouldn't keep the barbecue stocks all the way through July and August. Lovely.
Thanks to the long summer days, the team's gardens are bursting with new crops.
Some already happening, some to come. That's what veg growing's all about.
And there's still time to grow new things.
Hey, there you are. Hello. Hello. How are you? Oh, you're all looking sort of exhausted actually, too much gardening.
My indoor planters that I made have done so well. I mean, the lemon balm is like 3 foot tall in the kitchen. I can't drink enough gin to flavour it with.
Because we got the opportunity of being at home a bit more, what did you think you'd like to have a go at? Anything?
I've always wanted to try growing as many different chilies as I can, all different flavours and heats.
Hot stuff.
Like it.
Wow.
I'd quite like to have a go at hydroponics, bit techie.
So, growing without soil, just growing in water?
Yeah.
Well, you are in Yorkshire, love. We've got plenty of it up there, normally. Indoors or outdoors? Or
Indoors,
both?
yeah.
Indoors?
Yeah. I like the fact that you can have things all year round, like strawberries in winter.
So, Alan, what's on your list then?
Well, I've always liked melons.
Thought so. I put you down as a melon now.
Yes.
You know that you have to get bras to hold them when they grow.
Well, that should keep us all busy. Frances has already turned one side of her narrow garden into a pretty fruit and veg patch.
Remember my gingers that I put in pots and they had just tiny shoots on them? Well, look at them now. I'm so pleased with that.
And she has the perfect spot for her pet project.
And down at this end of the garden, I have a tucked away corner that I want to turn into a huge flavour experience. I'm actually going to turn this whole space into a chilli farm.
It's quite a challenge. Frances is planning to grow 11 different varieties of chilli from seed and plants. When growing them from seed, it's best to start them off in a greenhouse or, as Frances is doing, in a cold frame.
Now I'm going to make 4 holes about 5 millimetres deep into that compost. And I'll just put one of those chilli seeds into each of the 4 holes I've made. There we go. Cover it with soil and firm that all down. It's quite a good idea with seeds and cuttings to water from the bottom. So put that pot into the tray with water and just leave that for a few minutes to soak in. In this lovely warm weather, I would expect them to come up probably within 4 days, maybe a week.
Frances is also experimenting with seriously scorching chilli plants.
The thing that we all associate with chilies is their heat. What causes the heat is the chemicals actually in the chilli. People always think it's the seeds that give the heat, but actually it's not, it's the pith. And anything that's near that pith is extra specially hot.
Some chilies are so fiery that a measurement known as the Scoville scale has been created, so growers can differentiate between the hottest and the mildest.
Something like this, which is called Trinidad Perfume, and that has no heat. That's 0 to 15 rating on the Scoville scale. And the strongest go up to really high numbers. So something like this, which is Trinidad Scorpion, that is over 1 million. Do not bite into that unless you know what you're doing. We all know somebody who likes to have a bit of a show off and eat the hottest chilli they possibly can. I'm giving a very easy visual guide to how hot these chilies are by just painting the rim of the pot. Black is, well, you'd only be stupid if you ate one. And green is, it won't do anyone any harm at all. It's completely mild.
Chilli plants need lots of sun to thrive, and like most tomato plants, need feeding after a few weeks and a stake to support them as they grow.
This is why you should grow your own chilies if you can, because there's so much choice about how they taste. Like this. This is ackee red, and it actually has a lemony flavour as well as being fairly hot. But also because they look so beautiful.
It's always good to try new things or things you haven't done for a long while. And I haven't grown melons in ages.
Melons are one of my favourite summer fruits, but they're also one of the trickiest to grow. To make sure of a harvest this summer, I'm growing them from plants and in the greenhouse.
Right, so that's my framework done. To support... Oh, don't they smell gorgeous? Cantaloupe melons are the best ones to grow in a greenhouse, I think. 'Cause the flavour, the fragrance, all of it. The orange-fleshed ones. This is what it's going to look like. This is what my plants look like. That behind that little tiny flower down there is a round blob, and that will be your melon.
Once the new plants are established,
good watering. Melons are greedy because they're just about 95% water in their makeup.
my next challenge will be to pollinate the flowers on the plants as they grow to encourage the formation of fruits. Each plant has both male and female flowers. You have to take the male flower and rub the pollen from it onto the female by hand.
The male flower and the female flower are easy to tell apart. Female has a little melon behind it. The male doesn't. One male will do 4 females. I'm saying nothing.
As the melons grow, once they're too heavy to support themselves, they'll need to be hung in a net.
You can fasten these nets to the framework and hold your melons until the smell gives away the fact that they're ripe.
This really is the ideal time of year for growing your own.
I have a carrot now.
You want a carrot now? Let's let them grow up a little bit more first.
And if you keep it up, the best bit, harvest time, isn't far away.
Till the next time. Bye-bye.